Penny McPincherton's Christmas Reckoning by Melissa McNallen. Stave 1. Marley's Ghost. Janet Marley was dead. There is no doubt about that. Old Miss Marley was as dead as the sky-high ratted-out bangs of the 1980s. Miss Marley was dead. Penny knew she was dead? Of course she did. How could it be otherwise? Penny and she were business partners for I don't know how many years. Penny was her sole executor, her sole friend, and her sole mourner. Penny was an excellent woman of business on the very day of the funeral, and solemnized it with an undoubted bargain. The mention of Miss Marley's funeral brings me back to the point I started from. There is no doubt that Janet was dead. This must be distinctly understood, or nothing wonderful can come of the story I am going to relate. If we were not perfectly convinced that Patrick Swayze's Sam Wheat was shot and killed in a mugging at the beginning of Ghost, there would be nothing remarkable in Oda Mae Brown telling his girlfriend Molly that Sam's ghost said, "Ditto." Penny never ordered a new sign to replace McPincherton and Marley, the name they'd gone by since they had opened their commercial real estate office together. It would have cost a ridiculous amount. There the sign stood, years afterwards, above the office door, McPincherton and Marley. Sometimes people new to the business called McPincherton, and sometimes Marley. She answered to both names. It was all the same to her. She was a tight-fisted one, that Penny McPincherton. A squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous sinner, hard and sharp as flint, from which no steel had ever struck out generous fire, secret and self-contained and solitary as an oyster. The cold within her froze her aging features, nipped her pointed nose, shriveled her cheek, stiffened her proper gait, and made her thin lips blue and bare. McPincherton painted them red each morning and afternoon. Lipstick, recession-proof, all was dollars and cents to her. The woman spoke shrewdly in a matter-of-fact clip. Her eyebrows were a severe shade of black that matched the DKNY dresses she wore. Her hair was a frosty shade of blonde. She carried her own low temperature always about with her. External heat and cold had little influence on Penny McPincherton. No warmth could warm, no wintry weather chill her. No wind that blew was bitterer than her. No falling snow was more intent upon its purpose. Foul weather didn't know where to have her. Nobody ever stopped her in the street to say, "Miss McPincherton, how are you? When will you come to see me?" No beggars implored her, no children asked her what time it was. Even the menacing-looking men in black t-shirts, screaming about the coming judgment as they stood by the orange and white caution construction signs on Nicollet Mall, fell silent as she clicked past in her heels. McPincherton liked edging her way along the crowded paths of life, warning all humanity to keep its distance. Once upon a time, on Christmas Eve, Penny McPincherton sat busy in her office. It was cold, bleak, biting weather. Her iPhone had marked the hour as 3, but it was dark already. Fog came pouring in every time a door found itself ajar, and was so dense outside that the tall buildings opposite were mere phantoms. One might have thought a blizzard was brewing on large scale. McPincherton could hear people along the tree-lined mall wheezing up and down, beating their hands upon their breasts, and stamping their feet upon pavement stones to warm them. The door of McPincherton's office was open, that she might keep her eye on her assistant, Stella Cratchit, who in a dismal little gray cubicle beyond was typing eviction notices on a dreary old laptop that had to be rebooted a minimum of 3 times each day. McPincherton had a ceramic mug filled with warm tea and just a half teaspoon of sugar mixed in. Stella's mug was almost empty and quite cold. She couldn't replenish it, for McPincherton kept the teapot in her room, and so surely as the assistant came in with her cup, McPincherton would predict that it would be necessary for them to part ways. Stella tried to warm herself by the light of her computer screen. Not being a woman of strong imagination, she failed. "A Merry Christmas, Aunt Penny!" cried a super cheery voice. It belonged to McPincherton's niece, Faith. "Bah!" said McPincherton. "Humbug!" Faith had so heated herself with rapid walking, going in and out of the stores along Nicollet, that she was all aglow. Her cheeks and nose were both a cheerful shade of rose. "Christmas a humbug, Aunt! You don't mean that!" "I do," said Miss McPincherton. "Merry Christmas! What right have you to be merry? You're poor enough." "What right have you to be dismal?" Faith set her leather Prada Carrier shoulder purse on her aunt's desk and her many shopping bags on the floor. "What reason have you to be morose? You're rich enough." McPincherton, having no better answer ready to leap from her brain to her lips and speak, said, "Bah, humbug!" "Don't be cross." "What else can I be?" returned McPincherton, "when I live in such a world of fools as this Merry Christmas? Out upon Merry Christmas! What's Christmas time to you? But a time for charging your love on plastic. A time for finding yourself a year older, but not an hour richer. If I had my way, every fool going about with Merry Christmas on her lips should have her Jimmy Choo heels stabbed through her heart."